My name is Mary Eleanor Power, and I am the Director of Marketing and Communications for Dalhousie University's College of Continuing Education. And I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, Training for Today's Construction Professionals. With me, I have Eman H, who is the instructor for a few of our certificates, and she'll walk you through all of those today. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge that Dalhousie University is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. We are all treaty people. And before we get started, I'll just introduce Eman. So Eman is, as I said, instructor of 3 of our certificates at the College of Continuing Education. She is an engineer in Ontario with over 25 years of experience in the field of civil engineering. She's passionate about learning and helping others learn as engineering science evolves. After completing her BSc degree in civil engineering at Basra University, she pursued her MSc in structural engineering from Baghdad University. She was offered a teaching position at the University of Technology in Baghdad, Iraq, to teach different civil engineering materials. While at the University of Technology, Eman established the first personal computer laboratory in 1986. She has also held a position as a structural engineer in Baghdad, where she mastered her skills in structural design and inspection, quality control, and quality assurance, and enriched her expertise in the project management field. As a design manager in Dubai, UAE, she completed many successful projects of different types, from villa compounds to multi-million-dollar commercial towers. And there's so much more experience that Eman brings to the table, and we're so delighted that she's with us today to run through today's webinar. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Mary Eleanor. Good morning, everybody. I welcome you all to this webinar introducing the 3 certificate programs that I teach at the College of Continuing Education at Dalhousie University. And those are the structural engineering for architects and non-structural engineers, and the AutoCAD program, and construction management. Last March, the CBC News posted that Nova Scotia sees a boom in out-of-province buyers snagging the homes sight unseen. And the analysts with the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, the CMHS, say that the Halifax housing market is highly vulnerable right now. And they say that 3 market conditions are raising red flags: overheating, price acceleration, and overvaluation. Part of the problem is that there are more people moving to Nova Scotia from places like Ontario than there are people leaving the province for opportunities elsewhere. Many of the new arrivals are coming from overheated housing markets like Toronto, where they've sold a home for a price that gives them more disposable income to spend on a home here in Nova Scotia. The trend of more people moving to Nova Scotia than are moving away started before the pandemic, but could have accelerated with Nova Scotia's relatively strong performance in the COVID fight. In the last quarter of 2020, sales were up over 42% over the same period the year before. On April, the CBC News posted that the Acadian Shore, like many places in Nova Scotia, is facing a housing boom, with buyers snapping up properties, driving up prices, and leaving few places on the market. It is a blessing for some communities that no longer struggle to keep people in the area. This shows that there is a hot demand for construction business. So the program, the package that I teach consists of the design of projects, that is the structural engineering for architects and non-structural engineer certificate program, And the second program is the AutoCAD engineering drawing using AutoCAD. That is the preparation, this certificate helps with the preparation of project drawings after design. And then the third program is the construction management, which helps to execute the project and transfer it from drawings or from paper to reality. The structural engineering for architects and non-structural engineers that was first launched last May 2020. Each model runs for 6 to 8 weeks at 8 p.m. Halifax time on Tuesday. And it is 100% online course that consists of 4 modules covering the design and construction of steel, wood, reinforced concrete, and masonry projects, and will help in understanding structures and how they work. The certificate in structural engineering for architects and non-structural engineers will be awarded upon successful completion of the 4 modules of this course, including all assignments, quizzes, and final exam, which is equivalent of 200 classroom hours, and by attaining a minimum of 65% for each model and an aggregate average of at least 75% in the program. This certificate program helps participants to learn about types of structural elements and systems and understand the types of loads and their effect on various structural elements. Help participants to learn how different structural elements respond to different types of loading, and learn about basic principles of strength of materials and structural analysis. And this also helps to familiarize participants with the properties and uses of steel, wood, reinforced concrete, and masonry. It also helps to the use of standards and building codes in structural design, and help them to think and solve structural problems through illustrated examples and exercises. The certificate can help participants learn structures as an essential element of the building process, but one of the most difficult concepts for architects and others in the design environment to understand. As an architect or a non-structural engineer, you will learn that while structural engineers do the detailed consulting work, you need to understand the basic concepts and principles of structural theory and analysis. And the program will present basic concepts and design examples without in-depth mathematical derivations. And you will become familiar with the different types of structural elements and systems, how various loads affect them, and the basic principles of materials, strength, and structural analysis. And this program will allow you to collaborate with the structural engineers and make everybody's tasks easier. And you will leave the certificate with a sound understanding of the structural design process, the confidence to work successfully with structural design experts while knowing when to ask for their help. This certificate program is recommended for architects, students of architectural programs, fabricators and manufacturers of structural systems, general contractors, builders, technicians, and technologists of all disciplines. Also, it is recommended for plant engineers, property managers, directors of physical plant. Also, it is recommended for building inspectors and whoever wants to learn more about the structural system. The second certificate program is the AutoCAD certificate program that was first launched in 2018. 2018. Each model runs for 6 to 8 weeks on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Halifax time. And it is 100% online course that consists of 3 modules, introducing AutoCAD as a legendary software in the world of computer-aided design, the CAD. CAD or AutoCAD certificate program teaches AutoCAD fundamentals and basic object construction using editing tools and object properties and organization through step-by-step examples. And the program also provides some highlights on the principles of engineering drawings. The certificate in AutoCAD can help participants launch the world of computer-aided design, learn AutoCAD through step-by-step examples and learn various commands and techniques, refresh users' knowledge about the basics of engineering drawing. And if you are a new user of this software, then the time you spend on learning this software will be a wise investment. Or if you have used previous versions of AutoCAD, you will be able to learn the new enhancements in the software. The certificate in AutoCAD is awarded upon successful completion of the 3 modules of this program, including all assignments and final exam, and it is equivalent of 150 classroom hours, and by attaining a minimum of 65% for each module and an aggregate average of at least 75% in the program. Sorry. Okay. So the AutoCAD certificate program is recommended for engineers and engineering students, architects, draft persons and graphic designers, carpenters, furniture designers, electricians, mechanics, and steel detailers, estimators, and quantity surveyors also can use AutoCAD successfully. The third program is the construction management course, which is a 100% online program that was also first launched in the year 2018. Each module runs for 6 to 8 weeks on Thursday at 8 p.m. Halifax time. It consists of 3 modules as well. The program consists of the 3 modules that covering an introduction to the management of construction projects, construction management in practice, methods in project management, and business methods in managing construction. The certificate is awarded after completion of the 3 modules, including all quizzes and final exams. This represents approximately 120 hours of training, which includes online sessions, home study, quizzes, and exam preparation. The participants must attain a minimum of 65% for each model and an aggregate average of at least 75% in the program. This certificate program is tailored to teach the theory and practice of managing construction projects, starting from adopting the idea to build specific type project. So whether the project is building an airport or a cottage, the procedure is the same, except that the quantity and the quality of details are different in both projects. The certificate program in construction management can help participants learn the theory of construction management, the management in engineering and construction industry, types of construction projects, requirements for management organizations and professional construction management in practice. It will help participants learn the phases of construction projects, including pre-construction site investigation, planning, scheduling, estimating and design, bidding and award, construction and application of controls. It helps also to teach or to help the participant to learn how to select a professional construction manager and concepts of project planning and planning and control of operations and resources. It will help in estimating project costs and learn more about the cost engineering. It will help participants to learn about procurement, value engineering, and quality assurance. Also, safety and health in construction is one of the topics that will be covered in this certificate program. Also, the participant will learn about risk management, insurance, bonding, liens and licensing, and industrial relations, claims, liability, and dispute resolution. And there will be a state-of-the-art of professional construction management topic that will be discussed in the program. Due to the confidentiality of some project information, examples of problems and issues from real-life project are discussed individually via emails, then may be shared with the class as generic project stories and site problems. And this program is very condensed and starts from basics, and it is linked with the present life complicated project through the same principles and theory. The construction management certificate program is recommended for construction managers, project managers and architects, owners and construction companies, owners of construction companies and their staff, engineers, engineering students, developers and construction contractors, construction specialty subcontractors as well can make great use of this certificate program. So again, the certificate of completion of each of all the 3 programs is awarded after the completion of the 3 or 4 modules, including all quizzes and final exams. And this represents the specified hours of training in each course, including the online sessions, home study, quizzes, and exam preparation. The participants must attain a minimum of 65% in each module and an aggregate average of at least 75% in the program itself. The program runs in 3 modules per year. That is for the AutoCAD and for the construction management, and starts on January each year. That's for Module 1, and Module 2 on May, and Module 3 on September. Enrollment of the 3 certificate programs is open throughout the year. And this system is instructor-led, and it starts in Module 1 in January, Module 2 in May, Module 3 in September. And for the structural engineering for architects and non-structural engineers program, it has started last May. And this year, on January, we run Module 3, and on May, Module 4 will be starting soon, this May. And there is a self-study basis. If you can enroll in each of the program on self-study basis, and you will be having access to all the modules and the recordings of the sessions, and but you can at your own pace, you can enter, you can access the modules, but I think consecutively, I mean, when you finish one module, you can start the following module. So it's by like sequentially. And this is open all over the year, throughout the year, and you can study on your at your own pace. Okay, so that's all about my 3 programs that I wanted to talk about. And thank you very much for attending. And I think we have some minutes for questions and answers.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there any questions that that we can answer for anyone who's joining us today? Feel free to add them in the chat, and perhaps I'll just kick us off, Eman, and maybe you can just walk people through what they can experience, what the differences might be between that, if they chose to take any of the courses through that self-directed pathway, or if they chose to take it the instructor-led pathway. Can you give us a sense of what the difference might be there?
Yeah, the instructor-led type of taking like of a path to take the program, the participants will be attending the online sessions on weekly basis for in each module that will run for about 6 to 8 weeks, and on a specific time, as I mentioned, for structural engineering on Tuesdays, for CAD on Wednesdays, and for construction management on Thursdays. And they have to commit to the timing, of course, of the sessions and timings of the quizzes and submitting the final exam. Plus, when they finish Module 1, they have to wait for a period of like 8 weeks or 2 months time to start the next module.
Okay.
But for the self-study, they can start at any time, and they can study and finish the module at their own pace. And when they finish the module, when they complete the quizzes and final exam, and they get their certificate of completion of one module, they can proceed to the next module immediately without this time commitment like the instructor-led style.
Right. Okay. And there's a question just in the chat. What about access to software like AutoCAD?
The AutoCAD, usually the participants, they provide the AutoCAD. So, but I help them that Autodesk.com provide a free copy of the software that is free to install in their own computers for students and for 3 years. It's a free copy for students. So if they get their ID from Dalhousie, they have a student ID, they can install or download the software.
Okay, wonderful. We had someone just include in the chat. They're very much interested in the construction management certificate program, and they're asking about how they can enroll. So we've just added the link to register there. And I also just wonder, Eman, can you give us a sense of what what you're seeing in the industry in terms of employment opportunities and jobs? Are there lots of jobs in these fields? What are you seeing?
Yeah, of course. The construction field didn't stop through the pandemic, and it was booming before the pandemic. And the construction is booming not only in Nova Scotia, but in all over Canada and all over the world, actually. And it's an opportunity for even people who were laid off or they want to change career. It is an opportunity to start in the construction industry. It is very interesting, and it's always helpful to learn more about construction management. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I will also mention that when it comes to the courses, as Eman mentioned, there are three modules that comprise each of the certificates. And there is a bundling discount that you can access if you do register for all 3 courses, 3 modules at the same time. So I wanted to flag that. It's a savings of just under $300 for enrolling in all 3 courses at the same time. So just something to keep in mind in your planning. And so there's, oh, wonderful. There's just a question from the person who was interested in the construction management certificate. They're aspiring to attend Dalhousie University or similar course in civil engineering resource management. And they're wondering if they can connect with you, Eman, on LinkedIn or perhaps through your email. And so perhaps that would be something that we could facilitate, just that person.
Sure, of course.
And I suppose this would be an appropriate time for me to mention that all of the links to the registration information for all 3 of the certificates will be provided in an email that we'll distribute later today from the College of Continuing Education. It will have a link to today's webinar recording if there are some people in your network who you think this would be particularly relevant for, and also we'll have Eman's direct email address included, and also a spreadsheet or a PDF that she's provided on the procurement process. So a little bonus takeaway that you can review at your leisure. Yeah, so those are all things to expect in that email later today. And just a comment here from Lise saying, thank you for the webinar. I appreciate your time in providing some awareness of these programs, and the resources were helpful. And another note of thank you here. So is there any other information that you wanted to provide, Eman, before we wrap up?
Well, yeah, I think it's a wise investment in at this time to learn and to enroll in programs to enhance people's knowledge and kind of this is at the best time. It's a pandemic and people are working from home, even in construction, as project managers, they are working from home. So they have more, they can save the travel time to learn something useful. And I encourage all people really to get into this, this world. It's interesting.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Eman. Really appreciate your time, and we will be in touch, as I said, later today with some more information about these certificates, and we encourage you to share these widely with your networks. So thanks so much again for your time, Eman. I really appreciate you walking through all of these details with us, and take care and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.